welcome back to part 2 of the Siemens Partner Podcast with my guest, Mr. James Cottrell, the legend, as I said, of the Solution Partner Conferences. So, James, we mentioned earlier about innovating, and I think you may have answered a bit of this question in your last answer, but what innovations do you think our partners should be making themselves really familiar with, and how could they do it?
Yeah, for me, there's kind of two topics right now that I see quite important for partners to get a handle on. One more established than others, but so the established one would be industrial edge. I think, from the sorts of inquiries we see coming in on the technical support help desk, not just from partners, but from customers all across Great Britain and Ireland, this connectivity piece is always asking questions. I have data here, I need to get it there, how do I do it? I need to support this communication protocol. What supports that? How do I integrate with this system? And, industrial edge really does open up the world in terms of the industrial IoT offering. And the wealth of connectors and apps that Siemens have in their store ready for people to use is absolutely fantastic. I mean, at Transform, last year, Transform 2024, we were talking about the virtual S7 1500 that can run on that industrial edge platform as well. So there's a lot of innovation happening in that space, and I think it could be, I don't know, I would see it as maybe a rabbit hole if some of our customers and partners start developing their own in-house solutions, which can be easy to do. And for like a one-off, I need to talk to this protocol, I need to interface with this machine, a one-off bespoke solution is fine. But if you want to scale that, and if you want to make sure it's compliant with the latest cybersecurity guidelines and all these sorts of things, an off-the-shelf solution such as the industrial edge is perfect. And I think that's definitely something to get familiar with if not.
Okay.
And then, the other one, which is sort of like really at the forefront now, is AI. I think, again, at Transform 2024, we were showcasing Industrial Copilot. And honestly, that surprised me and completely blew me away in terms of its capabilities. For so long, we've talked about the automation of automation. But that was always around our customers or our partners writing a tool to automate the creation of automation code, engineering code for their machines. But here we have an AI which you can just talk to in natural language. You can say, hey, I want to set up a connection between this device and this. I want to share this amount of data. How do I do it? And it can say, you'll use these function blocks and you use this bit of code and this port interface. And you go, that's great. Can you write it for me? And it goes, yeah, sure. And it just writes the code. And now that is amazing. And I think, especially our partners, we know how costly engineering hours can be and how time-consuming bringing applications to life can be as well. So getting familiar with what Copilot can do for you, again, will help save a lot of time and effort in realising these sorts of solutions.
Oh, right. Okay. So actually, I think you might have answered the next question I was going to ask you. Transform. Absolutely fantastic showcase event. Really well received, record numbers. And the question I had for you was, what was your favourite part of it? What really stood out? But I think you've already answered that with the AI. Or was there anything else that it was up there in the same area? From a technology perspective, the Industrial Copilot really did stand out for me. Transform 2024 was a phenomenal event, and I was so proud of what Siemens put on, and also what our people delivered, as well. And to that point, with the Industrial Copilot, we had Nick Stewart as an example running that stand. And it was quite funny because I walked over to him and was like, have you had a break? And he's like, we've been so busy. I've been stood here like 4 hours. Like, right, go have a break. Don't worry. I'll stand here. It's pretty quiet, don't worry about it. And at that moment, I got swamped because Brian Holiday had just been on stage saying how fantastic Industrial Copilot was. Go check it out. So next thing, the whole auditorium is coming over. I'm stood there. I'm not familiar with this. I was just covering the stand. But that's how it blew me away, because they were like, so what can it do? And I was like, well, let's find out, right? Let's idea.
Hello, can you do this, Industrial Copilot? Yeah, I can do this. And and the people are there like, wow, this is amazing. And I was like one of them. I was like, wow, this is amazing. So from a technology highlight, that was really fantastic. But I think from my side, the real benefit of Transform and what's really unique about it is bringing people together.
Yeah.
And that's what I like seeing the most, is seeing we have, from our side, we have everybody.
Yeah.
So there is no question that will go unanswered at Transform, because everyone is there who can answer it. And the discussion that occurs between partners, customers, all coming together in a collaborative sort of way is really good. And whilst it's easy to go, well, what's going to be there, what are you showing? You forget that we're going to be there, our people are going to be there, our experts are going to be there, your customers are going to be there, and we're all going to be discussing the challenges of industry and how we can come together to solve them. So for me, that is what the biggest highlight is, really, is seeing people collaborating and discussing the future of industry in Great Britain and Ireland.
I was so impressed with how many of our partners were there, both solution and distribution, the customers they brought with them as well, and I didn't have enough time to see everybody that I knew that was there and wanted to be there. From a personal perspective, I thought it was absolutely outstanding event.
Yeah, this is it. And what's amazing is when people overhear other people's conversations, they're not stealing work or projects, that's all kept secret, but when they're hearing, is that you use that tool, what benefit is it to you, and they're cross sharing. It's not us telling, it's them telling each other, and these are the really inspiring bits, and the sort of seeds that get planted in people's heads when they leave to go, you know what, there is more to this that I could be doing, and I could be saving money. It's not a buzzword, it is real. I need to start get on board with it.
So I've got another question for you. I get some people questioning the value of our partners, whether they are solution or distribution partner. How do you view this landscape?
The value that our partners provide is fantastic. I mean, from a distribution perspective, that's our go-to-market. Our go-to-market is customers coming through the partners, and our partners adding that layer of value through having conversations with them about the technology, promoting it, finding the right solutions, even putting them in touch where needed with other partners to provide solutions if it's an end user in a factory or something like this. And they have a different perspective on things that we have as well. And I think the more perspectives you can have, the better, right? In terms of making sure it's a broadened approach in terms of conversations and discussions with the customers to achieve the right result. So that's good. And the solution partners, I mean, in technical support, many times we're sharing the link to the partner portal to say, look, it sounds like you could benefit from someone putting together a solution here for you. You need some engineering time. There's the partner portal. You can go and find, someone who can come and help. And it's great to have that resource where we can say, these aren't just system integrators.
No,
these are Siemens certified. They got our badge on the front door, sort of thing. Integrators to provide a certified solution into the industry. So, I'm immensely proud of that collaboration we have with the partners and what they deliver into our industry.
Okay. Well, James, time's flown by again. I mean, that is absolutely brilliant. I can only thank you for your support and being the latest guest on the Partner Podcast. Is there anything else you want to ask or want to get across before we close up for today's edition?
No, I mean, thank you ever so much for having me. Time has flown. It's been an absolute blast spending it with you. And in terms of the partners, of course, just always remember we're here. And if you ever need anything, just come speak to us.
That's great. So I hope you enjoyed listening to our latest edition of the Partner Podcast, and stay tuned for future episodes. We would love it if you could like, share and promote this podcast. My name's Mark Gutteridge. Goodbye and stay safe.